So real quick, I just want to explain my trades for today. So a few times, actually twice today, I tried to force GJ sells based off of, you know, this 30-minute double top, right? Because if we see where we are, go to the highest of high time frames, we were reaching into that level of resistance on the monthly, drop down to the weekly, we're touching a counter trend line, kind of still in that same vicinity. But the thing that really did it for me was saying, what is the likelihood that price is going to close bullish on the daily time frame within 6 hours? It'll be a stretch. So the daily candle closes bearish. This makes it a double top, which makes it the perfect pattern to drop into the depths of hell, does it not? So that was why I kept taking sells. I closed out all the sells. I figured I would rather just wait for next week for a confirmation that we are actually going to go bearish, right? And now EU buys. But before we do that, let me look at the dollar. On the monthly time frame, you see everything's super bearish, at least just right here. The weekly, if I look directly to the left, I see this, I see that, I see her. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Even though there's a chance the monthly could continue bullish, I gotta understand exactly where I am right now. And that's we're more so on a bearish move on the weekly time frame. So I said, okay, cool. I'm gonna go in right here. And now it's like the same theory of when can I go against my 4 hour flow? Because right now, you gotta ask yourself, what is the chances, the likelihood of price closing bullish today? Nah, I wouldn't bet on it. I'll look to the left, and if this bearish candle does not close bullish, that would equal another double top. It would be another double top. And if I was solely a swing trader, I would be looking for what happened right here, which was a nice and clean double top on the 4 hour. Because now, to put even more confluence on sells, I'm going to bring out my fibs. And we are right in the perfect level for taking some hardcore sells. Even if it's not all the way to here, oh, I think it could drop to this level right here, which is why I have my green level, right? And yes, we do have a counter trend line still supporting it. So boom, it could even hit that too. So I'm like, okay, cool. I think today, especially because we do have that 4 hour level of support that has been broken, I don't see no type of buys coming in soon right now on today. And it might flow into next week to, continue the bearish pattern. Just saying, don't know. But right now, I don't know about all that. So now, because my bias is more so bearish on the daily, all right, I want to go over to EU, which is the exact inverse of the dollar. And I say, okay, we're still bullish on the weekly time frame. I can't forget that. I look to the left. We're touching this. We touch that. We ate from that. Pull my stuff back on my chart. You know what? Let me go ahead and make this what it really is. If I was only doing long-term holds, this would be an area of interest for me, a major area of interest. The weekly candle closes in 6 hours and 27 minutes. I don't think that we're going to come back all the way down here. And even if we did, we'd still probably push back bullish because of this now. So if the weekly time frame ends up with a long ass wick to the bottom, more than likely the following weekly candle will be bullish, especially since overall we're still bullish. We haven't broken that bullish trend, lest we forget. We even put the trend line on this bit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Stop. Stop. So, I wrote down in my journal, I was okay, when is appropriate to take sells? I mean, to go against the 4 hour flow. And to me, the 4 hour flow is like, you got the lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. In my head, I'm like, bro, we should still be maintaining that. But the reason I chose EU to buy over GU was because at least we have a little 4-hour level right here. Since we're already past that, I'm like, okay, cool. I feel a little bit better taking it. You know, probably gonna pop back into here. So many lines on my chart, it makes me want to throw up, but that's fine. So after I saw the get rid of all of this. After I saw this double bottom on EU today, I was like, you know what? Looking at the dollar and looking at the overall time frame, I think that it could be an appropriate time for us to trade against the 4-hour to go back in with the daily flow. Not even the daily flow, daily structure, weekly flow. Now on gold, I do see, hello, 1 second. You can come in. I mean, okay. I do see a double top right here. So at first I was hesitant about taking sells, but I think that there's a possibility that we've already experienced that that bearish pushback from that. So again, with the whole weekly close, if we close bullish today in 6 hours and 25 minutes, that would mean the weekly candle close would be very, very strong, causing the next weekly after that to continue bullish. So I'm like, okay, cool. And on top of that, if I take point A to point B, we're in the most perfect area to go ahead and look for buys. I was going to look for a 4-hour double bottom, but I got a 1-hour instead last night. I took buys from there, boom, boom, continuing up. So when we came here, and we technically, this is a double bottom. We have a level of support, another level of support respected. I was like, all right, cool. We might be able to go bullish. So that's what I'm going to take. And yeah. That's what I think for EU and this. And I do think that the dollar could continue dropping up into next week. So that's just what I'm taking today. I'm in EU buys and gold buys based off of what could be happening on this time frame. All right, happy trading.